love you. We love each other. We love God. We love His church. We love people. We love business. We love, I don't want to say we love money, but we like money a lot. Okay? The love of money is the root of all evil. I don't love money, but I sure do likes it. Okay? And so we like each other. And we're having a good baby. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
It has been a crazy day around here. I'm telling you, we've been working around the clock on all these different projects that we have going on, and it's been exciting and powerful. Babe, this is our episode number 20.
Yes, it is.
What do you think about that?
Woo! It's almost over, guys.
This is our first season. We have learned so much doing our first season. I'm telling you, you guys ask the hardest questions in the world. We have spent so much time praying, thinking, and researching your questions, but it's been really stretching for us. To put ourselves out there. Y'all know I'm a public person, so I was born on, but it's really been a stretch for you.
Yeah.
Because my wife will run everything. I mean, she runs everything around here. Okay, administratively, financially, the resources, everything. But to come out from the wings and come out and speak, because I'm really the one who wanted you to do it, and because you don't just nod.
I was happy in my little bubble. In front of my computer.
Because we have these deep and powerful conversations that last for days and days and days, and nobody knows. Nobody knows what it takes to be you, what it goes on behind your eyes. And because of how God has arrayed your personality, you really don't need them to know, which is what is so fascinating.
No, I'm okay.
And I think that's just awesome, and I enjoy it. But I think there's so much that you can contribute because people don't really get to see on stage women who don't need stage. So often all we ever see is women who can't live without the lights. And they end up influencing the conversation. And so you have women who are living deficits who are being displayed like assets.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I watch it because I do this for a living, so I'm dissecting them, and then yet they're controlling the conversation. So we need women like you who are holding it up, holding it down, who have actually happy husbands, and have actually healthy kids and actually healthy homes and run actual operating businesses and aren't just talking heads to actually talk.
You're right. I agree. I'm always talking about why they always put that on TV.
Yeah. But we can't get the women who have happy husbands to say nothing.
Well, we can't make real women of America.
Right, we're gonna have
the normal women of America.
Basketball housewives of the football, who are from the Bay Area, and they're gonna be the ones who are saying everything. And then women who are holding it down every day and have normal lives and normal families and they never have a voice because no one pushes them because we're so happy. The guys who have you guys are so happy having you home to ourselves that we get selfish and we don't want to really share. I've talked to so many pastors' wives. I mean, pastors who've been pastoring a long time, and I know their wives, and their wives are awesome. They write no book. They have no podcast. They don't tell nobody nothing, okay? I mean nothing. They don't do a women's ministry, and yet they have very intact homes, and you never hear from them. Maybe they might preach twice a year, and they wouldn't even call it preaching. They'll share twice a year. And yet the people who populate the pulpits and speak to women on an ongoing basis, don't nobody want to be married to them. Not even the men who is married to them want to be married to them. Okay? He behind stage having a little sippy sip. He having a sippy sip just to make it through because he's married to Attila the Hun and Attila the Hun.
What's that come from?
That's an actual person.
From where?
He's the father of like 1/3 of the populace of the world.
Oh, well.
Yeah. And he's a he.
Oh.
I mean, it's a disaster. But we unless the right, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we should be the only kinds of voices, but I think we should be a part of the cavalcade of the conversation. We should be a part of the community. We should join this Greek chorus of song and sing another song. There ought to be space for some other rhythms, because really what I'm watching is that men are backing away from marriage in like record numbers, because the representatives of marriage are so
scary,
ick, as we would say,
ick.
that no, dudes are like, no. Do you know that 51% of men are single and childless?
Yes, I know that. I heard.
51% of men are single and childless. And the marriage rates are just going down. They're going down over and over. And I think if we just have to begin to really represent it better. We have to tell our story, okay? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to come back. We're having testimony service.
Testimony.
Testimony service. We're going to have testimony service. We got to take this quick break, and then we're going to be back. We'll get right into it.
Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver. Inspirational, motivational, and elevational. At Higher Level, journey with us in reaching your highest potential in God.
Because when you go up, I go up too. When you get a promotion, I get a promotion too. When you go higher, we started at the bottom, now we're here. Everybody's going up. I need somebody who knows I'm going up. I'm going up with my family. I'm going up with my children. I'm going up with my church. We're all going up.
Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver this Sunday at 10 a.m. Higher Level Denver at the Roar Center, 3035 South Parker Road, Aurora, Colorado, 80014. See all that we're doing on the web at www.higherleveldenver.org.
And we're back. Love the Real Hills. Do us a favor. Take a moment and hit the subscribe button. Go down and do all the YouTube-y things. We need you to do it. Like, share. You help us. This algorithm is tough to crack, but if you help us, just with a like or a share, hit the like button for me. It's going to be real good. It helps push everything up so more people can see it.
Yes.
I'm having fun with this one. I don't know about you.
Too.
Girl, you were just preaching now.
I'm not trying to preach.
You were just preaching.
I'm just talking.
I don't know. I almost got my wallet. It came this
Where
close.
My offering bucket?
It came this close.
Let me get my offering bucket.
Girl, you know I ain't got no money in that wallet.
Get some offering.
I didn't get my allowance this week. I got my allowance last week, but I already done spent it. Okay. Okay. But hey, this one is really good. Your story has power. Testimony service. Your story has power. God, it impacts generation to generation. And not only generation, I like what you said, is it impacts even our friends.
Yeah. You
can share something from your life that can impact people, that your coworkers, impacts your church members, it impacts your fraternity brothers, your sorority sisters. It can impact the people in your sphere of influence that are around you. And so often I think we suffer because we won't talk.
Yeah.
We won't tell. And collectively, we all end up having to go through individually when we could have gone through easier collectively if we had just shared the collective knowledge.
Yeah, it's like the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. It takes a village to go through life.
Right.
That's why I have lots of friends.
Right.
You
We
know.
weren't created to be alone.
No.
We were not created. God looked at the man in the garden and said, it's not good for him to be alone. It's not good for humanity to be alone. And so many of us are suffering because we don't live in community. We don't live in a community. And we're not a part of a church community. We're not a part of a social community. We're just these religious Rambos who are just out raging against the machine all by ourselves. And then we wonder why we're losing in life. But to be in a community and be silent,
Yeah.
to have something that you could actually offer and actually share. It's fascinating to me, the number of people that come up to me and say, Dr. Hill, I want to write a book, but they won't talk to nobody. They're ready to write a book, but I can't get them on a mic to share their testimony. They wouldn't have made it through testimony service. They wouldn't have made it. I thought it was so crazy, and I hated it growing up, but I understood it psychologically later, and then I understood it spiritually even later, because the book said that you overcome not just by Jesus' blood. That's deep. That's crazy deep. You don't just overcome by Jesus' blood. You overcome by the words of your testimony. And that you don't care about your life as unto death. That's so the blood of Jesus, we all raised on it. Blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus. Yeah, it's good. But your testimony, your story is just so much a part of your overcoming.
It is.
As well. I mean, look at, I used to go to AA meetings, and it's not that I'm an alcoholic, it's that I like alcoholics. Okay. So they be going around and say, my name is John, I'm an alcoholic. And I say, hi, my name is Chris, and I love alcoholics. And I'd sit in a 12-step meeting and of course I'll never divulge what people said, but what was so powerful is I realized it's a testimony service.
That's exactly what it is.
Is they're overcoming by their higher power, which for most of them is the blood of Jesus, and the word of their testimony. And they're willing to walk people into the darkest moments and bring them right up to the highest heights, and that's how they strengthen each other daily. Because many of them, if you're really in crisis, you go to a meeting every single day to share your testimony again, and that's powerful. Babe, I wanted you to share something, because I watched you do something with one of your friends. You talk about your friends, not enough in my mind, because I'm watching your relationship with them, how deep it is, how long it is, and how much you guys share stories.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you so many examples, but one in particular is like having a child. I would say that was a big thing.
Huge. Yeah, I've never done that.
And I was the trailblazer. Because,
you were the first.
Yeah, I had my kid at 25.
Okay.
Because I was already married.
Right.
And had been for years.
Wow.
And so, but most of my friends, a lot of my friends, they didn't get married until maybe 28, 29. Okay. I got married at 19.
Right.
So I had been married for a while. And so they hadn't had kids.
I get it.
They hadn't even been married yet. So some of my friends didn't even get married until their 30s. I have one friend, I love her. She's much older than me. She didn't get married until she was 38.
Get out of here.
One of my really good friends didn't get married until she was 30. Another friend of mine didn't get married till 29. So
you were way ahead.
I was ahead. I had been married for years.
Married at 19. To Jed Clampett.
Yep, had my Jed Clampett. Had a kid. Was embarking on having a child at 25.
25.
Yes. And so for me, I went through a lot because, I'm a very holistic person. You guys out there who do know me.
They don't know. See?
Some do, some don't. But I always opt to do the natural way of doing everything because, I believe if it didn't grow out of the ground or on a tree that God created, it does not belong inside of me. Okay?
Okay.
If it didn't grow out of the ground or in
Ground.
a tree,
Or in a tree.
it does not belong
It's
inside of me. So,
Amen.
when I found out I was having a child,
There's way too many jokes. Just call me Woody.
when I found out I was having a child, I was going to go the natural route.
Natural route.
Water birth.
You wanted to be married. Wait a minute. You want to be.
Water birth.
You want to have the baby in a
Water
tub-
birth.
in a tub,
In the
in
jacuzzi.
a pool, in a
Yes,
jacuzzi,
basically.
and
A
they
big-
come swimming out.
Yes. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. I had researched it.
I'm sure. I know.
I read books about
I
it.
know you. Right.
I saw the pros and cons. I saw the goods and bads. I did all of that. Okay, so I decided
This
I was
story
doing.
is awesome. This is so much better than I thought. Go
I
ahead.
was doing a natural birth. I mean, I'm going to the classes. I'm prepared.
They have classes.
Yeah, to get you ready.
Scuba?
No.
Is it scuba bird?
Y'all see what I do?
Scuba bird.
Y'all see what I deal with? He's so ridiculous. He's so ridiculous. Anyway, no, like they're teaching you your breathing techniques. They're teaching you how to massage your stomach when you're in the water, what positions to be in when you're in the water, you know, all of that stuff, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, so all the way up until the week of delivery, okay? I am ready. First thing I find out is I'm due on this date.
Right.
It is now this date, and this baby has not come out, which I found out is pretty typical for
first birth. So the baby was late.
The baby was late.
To the projected due date.
But as you know, I am a small person. Small.
Yes.
And my daughter's father is a large person.
Right.
Okay? So it was all fine and dandy. Go to my weekly, because you know at the end you go to appointments like every 3 days. Like it goes from monthly to weekly to every few days you're going to appointments.
Wow.
The closer you get to delivery.
Okay.
And so I go in, everything's good. And then I'm like 2.5 weeks beyond.
2.5 weeks beyond the projected due date.
Yes. And I'm like, I got to get this baby up out. Like, it's getting to where my feet then swelled up so big, I'm wearing my husband's slip-on slides. I couldn't even wear shoes. I had to put on his slides to
you
put my feet.
serious?
My feet are swollen. I'm hobbling. But you know me, I was pregnant. Most people didn't even know I was pregnant until the 7th month.
Okay.
Because you couldn't tell because
Right.
I was very small.
Right.
And in fact, the doctors were like mad at me thinking I wasn't eating because I wasn't getting big, you know.
But you was working. the
But
whole time.
I danced.
Right.
I was a professional instructor and a professional dancer, and
Right.
I danced all the way until the 6th month.
Right.
And then after the 6th month, I stopped performing and only taught classes.
Okay.
And then all the way up until the day before I gave birth, I taught. In
So
fact,
all right. So you're 2.5 weeks beyond.
yes, I'm still teaching.
You're still teaching dance.
Yes, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Zumba.
No, that's not dance. That's aerobics. I wasn't doing that. I was teaching class like ballet, jazz, hip hop,
How do you teach ballet pregnant?
and 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, kick. Turn 5, 6, jeté, Sinead. You use words.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I don't. I've
Pas
never
de
been.
bourrée, pas de shaw, you know.
I-
Arabesque. We have words for this.
The only dance I know is pole dancing.
And what pole?
Pole. Cut that out the thing. Cut that out.
What pole?
That little pole they on, you know.
Who's they?
The ballet, you know, they be doing.
Oh Lord.
No.
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 No, he don't know nothing, y'all.
Okay.
He don't know nothing.
All right.
He don't know nothing.
All right. So you're 2.5 weeks beyond. What
So
do
I-
you do?
I went to a hip hop class, someone else's,
Okay.
and I went all out. I danced like I wasn't pregnant
Wow.
to put myself in labor.
Okay. Did it work?
It worked.
Get out of here.
Well, I didn't think it worked because that night I went home, it was nothing. The next day I had an appointment, still no baby. So I went to the appointment and they hook you up because I'm now so late. They're like, okay, let's make sure. So they hooked me up and they realized that I am having full-blown contractions. And they're looking at me like.
No pain?
They're like, your contractions, there's like numbers to it.
Yeah.
And like the high is like over 100. Like a hard contraction is like in the 90s.
Right.
High 80s to 90s. And I was like at a 94.
Whoa.
And they were like, they came all rushing in the room, all concerned. And I'm like, they're like, you don't feel that? And I'm like, what? They were like, you are having contractions. Look at this paper. And they're showing me the paper and the screen. And I was like, oh, I thought that was just the baby kicking like normal.
Wow.
Because my child was in this belly. My stomach looked like an alien. It
Really?
would move. Literally, you could see it moving.
Right.
All the time.
And
She
you're
was so
you're
active.
so small.
So I thought it was just her kicking and, dancing in there like she always does.
Yeah.
They were like, no, you are in labor.
Right.
And they're like, you need to go across the street right now to the hospital. And I'm like, I didn't believe them. I walked across the street. Well, first I called everybody and said, oh, they're making me go. They're saying I'm in labor, but I don't feel nothing. I moseyed across the street. I'm like, to my husband, I'm like, I'm hungry. Let's go to the cafeteria. We went to the cafeteria, ate food.
You're in active labor in the cafeteria line with a tray.
Yes, getting some food. Because I knew once you get in that hospital, they ain't going to let me go. And there's no hope.
Okay.
You're just going to be there.
Okay.
So I getting food. I sit down. We eat, talk. Then I'm like, man, I got to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Nothing comes out.
Okay.
So then I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go to the room. Let's go check in. We check in. I get in the room. They're like, your contractions are even worse. And I'm just like, this is it? Okay. Because, all the people in front of me, my mother, my grandma, they're like, girl, get ready for the worst pain of your life. And I'm like.
So you're pain-free.
It's not pain. There's something.
Is it pressure?
I thought it was just the baby kicking.
Wow.
That's what it felt like to me. So, but either way, long story short.
Yeah.
I'm in the delivery room. I'm in there for hours and hours. The baby don't come out. My doctor, there's a storm. It's Friday the 13th. You guys, I had my kid on Friday the 13th, and there was a huge storm. Outside. Yes, in Texas, huge storm.
Right,
so,
that's a big storm.
Yes. I mean, my doctor's trying to get to the hospital through the storm, and I'm there with the nurses and everything, and, this baby is not coming out.
All right, wait, so the doctor's trying to make it through the storm.
Yes.
You're 2.5 weeks over. You're in full-blown labor over 94.
I'm walking around the room. I'm getting in and out the tub, the big jacuzzi
They
tub.
have a jacuzzi because you're still trying to do the water thing.
Yeah.
You're trying to have Aquaman.
Then they give you the medicine that kind of makes your baby, you go into labor for real.
Pitocin?
Yes, they give you that.
They give you the Pitocin.
Which I didn't want that, but I had to do it.
You had to eat because it's not from the ground. It's not from a tree. And so
But they told me it didn't affect the baby.
Okay, so they gave you the Pitocin shot, and we're going to be right back with the rest of this story right after this break.
Higher Level Denver is here. Join us as we go to the higher level. Higher Level Denver with Dr. Chris Hill.
But I'm about to get real free. Free in my mind, free in my body, free in my past, free in my future. I need a free person to give God a free praise right here.
We are friends of God, friends of man, and friends of humanity. Transform your life. Find your voice. Get ready to roar. Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver This Sunday at 10 a.m. Higher Level Denver at the Roar Center, 3035 South Parker Road, Aurora, Colorado, 80014. See all that we're doing on the web at www.higherleveldenver.org.
And we're back. Please like, share, subscribe. We love to hear your comments. Please jump down in the comments and say something to us. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put your questions, comments, and ideas for future shows. This is season 1, and we're so excited that we're going to start season 2 in just a few weeks. And we're going to take a break, do a little writing, take a few Wednesday nights off.
Woo!
Come on here. And then we'll be right back in the studio to get some more content out to you. But hey, babe, you're talking about, okay, so this is it. All right? You're 2.5 weeks beyond your due date. You're a tiny little human. You've got this big baby that's making you, she kicked, I mean, it would just shake everything. You've gotten big, noticeable in just 2 months.
Yeah, that last month. The last 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, I suddenly was visibly pregnant.
Visibly pregnant. And now you're at the doctor's. You're ready for, you're having aqua birth. You're having a submariner birth.
That's the plan.
And
Submariner.
And they trying to get
She
you.
always talking stuff.
What? No.
Anyways, they're trying to get. They gave me the Pitocin.
They give you the
to
Trident.
kinda speed this up because I've been there for hours now.
For hours.
Hours. At least 12, 13, trying to get this baby to come out.
12, 13 hours in active
Mind
labor.
you, I'm still waiting on my doctor who's been with me through the whole pregnancy to get there.
Okay.
Because when they called her to tell her I was going into labor,
Yeah.
she was in the middle of delivering 3 babies that were scheduled.
Oh, because you were.
So she had to deliver those 3 and then get to my side of town at the hospital where I
And this
was.
is Dallas.
Dallas.
This is Dallas. It's big traffic, distance.
And she was in Dallas and I was in Fort Worth.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's an hour and a half.
Yeah, easily. But there was a storm.
And the storm. And then.
Finally, after hours, my doctor shows up and comes in the room and she looks, and in a matter of seconds, she splits her mouth open to say, "Oh no, this baby is too big to come out of her. Prep her for a C-section."
Wow.
I about died. That is the moment, people, when my life was flipped, turned upside down.
Let me get it clear. So Doc Ock comes in, looks at you, looks at the size of the baby, and says, that not coming out, that exit is too small.
Yes.
So we need to prep you for a cesarean.
Prep her for a cesarean immediately. This is an emergency.
Cesarean section, for those of you who don't know what it is, Google that mess, okay? Because I ain't got time to be telling you stuff you don't need to know, okay?
They might need to know, but
anyway.
anyways.
Jesus.
So at that very moment, of course, I lose all of my marbles because, first of all, I'm not doing drugs. So mind you, all this time I've been in there going through the contractions, because the contractions finally started feeling like contractions, but it wasn't pain, it was immense pressure. But it was enough to where I had to really breathe through it. And, my mom's in there and she's mad at me because I won't take drugs for pain. I'm like, but it doesn't hurt. Am I crying? Do you see tears? No, that means I'm not in pain enough to take drugs. And she's mad because I won't take the drugs. And, I'm going through contractions for hours.
If it was me, they could have gave me crack cocaine. Okay?
You sound like most
of the
people I know.
Okay? Call me Pookie. Call me Pookie. There's no way in the heck that I'm going through none of that for 12, 13 hours. Okay, call me Pookie.
Well, I read the books.
New Jack City.
The medicine, makes your kid a little when they come out.
Yeah, they're a little high.
It could cause problems. So I didn't want that.
All right, so no drugs, C-section.
C-section. And of course, I researched that as well.
Okay.
So I immediately realized I am now required to pretty much get every drug known to mankind.
You need an epidural.
Possibly, depending on how far into it you are,
Wow.
they may have to do anesthesia.
Straight up anesthesia. Knock you out.
Local anesthesia.
Local.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So anyways, yes.
Okay, so you
They
go.
end up giving me,
They roll you out.
no, they send in the people to prep me for C-section.
Okay.
And they have to give me an epidural.
Epidural.
And they have to hook up all these IVs
IVs for you.
with different medicine.
Wow.
Now they got to put the strong stuff.
So you just mad. Are
Mad.
you mad?
I am bawling,
Crying.
crying. Y'all, I ain't cried through a contraction. I ain't cried for, they told me I had to have medicine. I started crying like a kid when you got to give them, take your cough syrup, you know.
Right.
I'm crying like, no. I mean, it was over. I couldn't even think for myself at that point.
Right.
Thank God my best friend was there.
Right. So Lily was there.
Yeah, she was there. She was able to think for me
Now that's deep.
and calm me down.
Okay.
You know, so they take me, they roll me out, have the C-section. Of course,
All right. So they roll you into surgery,
surgery.
and then they take the knife.
It's not like that.
No, it's not like that.
More like this.
It's like the scalpel.
They
and they
do all of that.
they
I'm
give you-
watching
they-
because I'm the type of person like, you're giving me drugs, you're gonna cut me open. You think I'm not gonna watch?
So you're
now they put
watching-
this sheet up so you can't see, but they have those little round mirror things, so I'm watching through the mirror.
Like at the supermarket.
Yes, those round ones
Wow.
in the room. So I'm
Wow.
watching. And meanwhile, my daughter's father, who's standing behind me, is about to pass out.
Oh, my
he
God.
sees it
Oh,
because
my
he can
God.
see over the curtain.
I'm gonna call him after.
And here's them saying, colon,
Where
small
is my
intestine,
phone.
stomach, and they're moving parts to get to what. And he almost passes out. They have to go get a chair for him to sit
He
down.
needs a chair. I need a chair.
Oh Lord, I'm like, okay.
So
I'm
they're
watching.
pulling out, and you're awake.
Yes. There was no way I was allowing them to give me an anesthesia.
So you have like colon, small intestine. They're pulling out organs so that they can get to the kid.
Yes. Yes. So my doctor gets on the bed. I'm laying there.
On the bed.
Yeah, she can't get the kid out. The kid is stuck. Because the kid was too big, just like she said.
It's too big.
She gets on the bed, straddles me, and has to
Stop it.
I'm not, she has to
You lie.
yank. It took, oh no.
What?
Hold on, people, I lost my microphone.
So we're gonna recap this week. So the doctor is on the bed, straddling my tiny little 5'1" wife, and trying to wrestle the child out of her innards. Her husband at the time is seated as he's watching this whole thing go through. And I can't wait to call him. I'm calling him. You never told me this.
Yes, he's
this whole
watching.
Story. He's watching this, and then boom.
And then boom, she gets the baby out after like 3 yanks.
3 yanks.
Yeah, you can see the outline of my pelvic bone on the baby's head, and I'm like,
Oh dang.
my baby gonna be special or something. Something gonna be wrong with her. She ain't gonna be able to think.
Babe.
She ain't gonna be able to think
Okay.
because I done smushed her brain.
Oh my God.
Like I'm like thinking all of this horrible stuff.
How big was she?
She was like 7'11".
So she wasn't massive.
That's massive.
That ain't massive.
That's almost 8 pounds. 7'11".
Yeah, I thought this baby was like 13 too. You know.
I am 5'1.5 inches. Okay.
Okay.
That I mean, everyone else in my family's babies are 5 pounds.
5 pounds.
Yeah.
So this is big. For
Yes.
y'all. Dang. Do y'all make cookies?
Huh?
Do you make cookies?
Cookies?
Yeah, in a tree.
Do we make cookies?
Yeah, the Keebler elves.
Um.
She didn't get
Hold-
it. Yeah, make cookies.
Can we cut? Yes, I'm freaking out, you know.
Right.
I'm freaking out because I think she's going to have brain damage.
Because it's marks
I mean,
on
it was
her
like
face.
13 hours,
Dang.
you know, of me trying to get her out the normal way.
Right.
And before my doctor got there. So anyways,
This is crazy.
we have the baby. Lo and behold, people,
Lo and behold.
because I don't take chemicals into my body,
Right.
I had no clue that I was allergic to every type of narcotic
morphine.
known to man. Narcotics. I am allergic
All narcotics.
to narcotics, people.
Dang.
They gave me morphine and Percocet, all the normal stuff.
Yeah.
And I begin to have reactions.
What reaction?
Convulsions.
Like,
Yep, and pass out.
Get out of here.
Break out and highs.
Oh my God.
Hallucinating.
So you didn't know that
I didn't know because I never done these drugs.
Wow.
I never put these things into my system.
Gotcha.
So, of course, I end up being taken to ICU.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can't have the baby in there. But either way, I end up in ICU. I'm making this long story very short. I end up in ICU.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure in my mind I died like a few times and came back. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember everything. All I know is a lot of it is kind of foggy.
Right.
But my friend told me there were times she came in my room and turned on the worship music and prayed around my bed. And,
Wow.
And then, I'm not a creature person.
Okay.
For those of you,
Animals.
I don't do creatures.
Not in the house.
No.
She likes animals outside.
Yeah, that as long as they're in their environment.
Horses,
but not in,
doggies, cats.
Yeah, but certain ones.
Lions.
Yeah, certain animals I can deal with.
But outside the house.
Yes, in their environment.
Okay.
Like
Gotcha.
at the zoo,
Gotcha.
or when you go camping, the little bugs,
Okay.
their environment.
All right. So would she bring an animal?
No, she said she knew something was wrong with me.
Yeah.
Because one time I woke up and I was like, oh, look at the little bunnies. I was saying stuff about animals and she knew, oh no, something is wrong. Let me call these doctors in here. Something is wrong with my friend because she knew I don't do animals.
Wow.
So, but either way, I'm allergic to all the narcotics. Okay. Now I have 6 IVs.
Yeah.
3 in each arm. My hand, my wrist, and my elbow crease.
Right.
On both arms.
Right.
They have to flush all of the narcotics out of my system.
Got it.
At the same time, they're giving me antibiotics, which I found out I am allergic.
Also allergic to.
To the psyllin family.
Right.
See, there's a reason why I never wanted drugs. It was God's telling my body to tell me, don't do this stuff. It's not going to work for you.
Mm-hmm. The spirit of Nancy Reagan. Just say no.
You guys, this is what I deal with. This is what I deal with. Anyways, long story short, I go through all of that trauma. I in ICU. I get out of ICU after I probably spent the first 10 weeks in the hospital.
Weeks?
Uh-huh. It was pretty bad.
Oh my God, babe.
I was in and out of the hospital.
Oh my God. 10 weeks after the birth.
Yeah, I kept ripping my incision because of the hallucinations from the drugs. So I had to go back in and get it restitched.
Oh my God.
It was a lot. It was very hard. I was very depressed.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't think I was ever going to be the same after it. But at the same time, I had this new little baby that I was responsible for. So, but all in all, we say this story. Fast forward, 10 years later.
10 years later.
8 years later, one of my friends ends up getting pregnant.
Okay.
And finds out that she has to have a C-section.
She has to have one too.
And she comes to me, tells me, and at that moment, you know, I could have just kept that information inside
Right.
and
This
just
is
kind of
horrific.
it's okay.
This is traumatic.
This is so bad. You know, I could have.
This was hell.
But I talked her through what I did, what my processes were, how I got through it. And so when it came time for her to have her baby, because she listened to my advice, she listened to the things I did. I had created ways of showering when your incision is not healed. And I had created ways of setting up the room to make it easier to deal with certain things and how to hold the baby in a way.
And we were together by then. For this pregnancy, we were together?
When my friend had her kid, yes.
Okay.
And so.
Yeah. Because I saw this. I watched you do this.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted you to share. But you shared stuff I didn't even know. I didn't
share it all. There's so much
mean,
more.
This is.
But I ended up being able to use what I went through.
Right.
To help her to get through what she was about to go through.
Right.
And even to
Oh my
this day,
gosh.
she tells me, like, had I not gone through that and been able to walk her through it, she wouldn't have made it through because, you know, I was able to talk to her about the dark moments and the sadness and the depression and not feeling like yourself and not, you know, feeling like you were ever going to get back to who you were and those things. And because I could talk to her and tell her, look, this is what I do. You got to do this. You got to get out. You got to come. I'm going to come. We're going to take the baby. You need to go and do something you like. You know, all of those different things, she wouldn't have made it through the best that she could have had she not had that advice.
Coming through the birth, coming through the C-section, the drugs.
The preparation for going into a C-section.
Postpartum.
After having the baby, the not amnesia, when you can't sleep. What is it when you can't sleep?
I forgot. I have
amnesia. Amnesia is when you forget. Insomnia. Insomnia. When you can't sleep.
Can't sleep at
because
night.
of the drugs you have to take, and they mess up your sleep patterns and your feeding and breastfeeding and not breastfeeding.
Just to thank God right now. If you're a man watching me right now, just thank God. Okay? Because if men had to have babies, abortion would be a sacrament in the Catholic Church. Okay? There's just no way. This is ridiculous. Okay?
It is.
This is ridiculous.
You know, there's many other situations in life that I've gone through, and I've been able to share my testimony with other young women, and it helped them to get through their hard times.
And I watched you do it.
And so,
you went down there. Didn't you set up her Roman stuff?
I went down and helped her.
And helped her?
I set up the room. I set up the bathroom because things you don't even think about when you're in it. But I thought about it because I went through it.
Right.
But I didn't have anyone to tell me what to set up. And so I did that, and I was able to tell her what to purchase online ahead of time. You're going to need this, and you're going to need that because of this and that. And she told me, you know, I'm so grateful because I wouldn't even known to get those things, and it would have been hard without them and harder, you know. And so she's always saying thank you, and she don't know what she would have done, you know.
Wow.
But I say all of that to say is that your testimony can save someone's life. It can change someone's life.
And it doesn't just have to be, I love that story, because it doesn't just have to be some spiritual, shama, I met an angel on the road to Damascus, the corner of Damascus and MLK. I don't, you know, and so often we make the testimony have to be so spiritual.
It can be very practical.
But it can be life application. Tell me how you got over, because your story has power. And so we want to encourage you. Tell your story. Share your story. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing Love the Real Hills. That's why we talk to people, is we want to share our story. We believe that in our story, as crazy and unique and diverse, and you can always see how different we are, that you can encourage somebody that you can find love, and you can find your person. I found my person. My person is sitting right here. She's my person. I found her. I pursued her with all strength, and I mean I had to convince her. Okay, and our lives have been the better for it because I found my person. And I want to encourage you that by sharing your story, we're hearing from so many different couples, we're hearing from so many singles and individuals that are being encouraged by our story, and we want the world to be encouraged by yours. Your story has power, and so we want. You don't have to do old school testimony service, but come on, share your story.
Share your story.
Share your story. We want you to like, subscribe, comment. We want to hear from you. This is the end of season 1. We'll be back with season 2 in just a few weeks. And I think we're going to put out some shorts and some videos and share. But tell people about it. We need your help to expand this platform. We love you. I'm Dr. Chris Hill.
And I'm Renee Hill.
And we love you. And this is Love the Real Hills. And we'll see you real soon.
Goodbye.